Recently, you might have heard about Trump picking two men that know absolutely nothing about the Federal Reserve as being part of the Federal Reserve Board. Now, one you might not have heard of as much, Stephen Moore, and the other is Herman Cain. You know, Trump has a consistent pattern of picking unqualified people in his administration. We have seen this over and over and over. Now we are seeing it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing this again. And both of these men are now in hearings because, whenever you're nominated, depending on the position, you have to go before a panel and they will ask you a series of questions. And then you get to sit there and listen to their answers. Well, Stephen Moore has pretty much made a spectacle of himself. He can't answer questions. He goes veering off into all of these other things. And it's like a complete mess. And then you have Herman Cain that is admitting he doesn't know anything about monetary policy. Okay, so now let's ask the question then, how are these two men appropriate for the Federal Reserve? I think it's safe to say they're not. Now, the worst part is Stephen Moore, this guy right here, he is talking about making things difficult whenever there's a Democratic president, creating recessions and stuff like that, right? And inflating everything. But when a president comes along and he's a Republican, they hold back on that. Yes, he's talking like that in these hearings. All right. I mean, it tells you right here that he deflects by ignoring, retreating, or just making general comments like we want clear rules and a staple dollar, and then changing the subject to regulation. So he's like all over the place during these hearings. So bringing in Herman Cain, I don't know what Trump was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking, but I think it's very clear neither one of these men are qualified for being on the Federal Reserve Board. But they're going to go forward with the hearings like they always do. But you know how embarrassing this is. And I mean, Herman Cain is somebody we haven't seen. I think the last time he ran for president, I think that was the last time we seen Herman Cain. And then all of these scandals were coming out about him and other women. So, and then he just kind of disappeared. And he was at one point in time the CEO of Little Caesars. Some of you might remember that. But I mean, just because you are the former CEO of Little Caesars, that doesn't mean that you are appropriate for the Federal Reserve Board. That's a pretty powerful position, y'all. I don't know. I don't know what Trump is thinking these days. I really don't. I really don't. Political reports that Cain's nomination may have actually eased Moore's confirmation prospects because Republicans may be hard pressed to revolt against both of Trump's nominees. The sadly plausible assumption here is that the Senate Republican willingness to oppose Trump's, what they're saying is, I believe they're going to oppose these two. They would have to. I mean, seriously, why would they put these unqualified men on the Federal Reserve? Therefore, they may waive more, though on through the grounds that he is on the margin, less fragrantly unqualified than Cain. So they're saying the least bad pick is the one who admit he doesn't know very much about the subject that is soon going to be his entire job. So they're saying of the two, both men are unqualified, y'all. But they're saying of the two men, Cain is probably more qualified than Moore. That's scary. But I am not surprised, y'all. Like I said, this is a standing pattern that we have seen in the Trump administration. If you remember, he also picked unqualified people for federal judge positions, and those hearings were like a circus. Wow. Why do you keep doing it, Trump? Why? Why do you keep doing these things? Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.